This concludes our second phase of our review. We're going to pick up the third phase on this slide right here, solar heating of water, the flat panel solar collector, in just a moment. And you'll see in a minute why one part's passive and one is active. The actual plate itself is pretty simple. It's just this flat plate painted black on the inside to absorb the heat. Then you have these sides. These sides help attach this mirror, not mirror, but I'm sorry, excuse me, this is glass. Sometimes it is tinted, but for the most part it's clear because you want to collect as much heat as possible in this. So as the sun does its thing, I've thrown photons on us, and it comes through here. All these photons land on the glass and pass through, and some, obviously the infrared is kind of stays behind, so the heat stays behind. Some of the energy comes on out, but most of it can stay in, and as it does, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And if it's water passing through these pipes, or air passing through these pipes, or oil, or whatever it is, causing that to move typically is the active part. And as those things travel through the flat panel solar collector, they get hotter and hotter, and then heats water, either just to heat water for hot water, or sometimes they superheat them into steam to turn turbines. In this particular case, this solar heater, the one I'm showing here, is passive, but larger ones like the picture on the right, that would be an active system. It has a variety of different components. We have, again, that ubiquitous flat, let's go back one, that flat panel right here, collector. And then you have water in these hot water tanks. And as it's creating hot water, it travels through the pipes into the tank. As you either remove water, or over time, as it cools off, the cool water drops down and it feeds these pipes. And of course, you also take cool water into here as well to get a gradient. And of course, it'll help keep the hot water from the cold water. And that's a passive system as well. So it depends on how you use it. But solar hot water heaters have been used in greenhouses, obviously some homes. And that kind of, the one that I just showed you is a passive system. Now, another passive system is solar space heating. And the picture on your left is a picture of a house. Picture on your right is just a drawing of a picture on the left. And if you take a look at this one, you'll notice that there are some panes of glass just to the outside, probably west facing, could be also south facing depending on where you are on the planet. But here in the west is probably on the west or the south side. As sun rays hit these glasses here, they enter this space. And as they do that, they heat up the space right in between the glass and the house. As that heats up, it wants to go up. And as it goes up, it comes into the room, circulates around. As it comes down, it finds the low point where there's cool air. And this cool air is pushed out and back in. So you have a vent here and you have a vent here that helps make it work. And because of that, we have some convection currents going on and making that also a passive system. It's fairly effective in the wintertime in particular. Speaking about wintertime, depending on where you put your building and eaves and the time of year will also kind of determine your space heating ability. For instance, in this particular case, it's December 21st, middle of summer, winter. And also because it's the middle of winter, you have the sun and it tends to be lower in the horizon. So because it's lower, it's going to be casting its rays down like this, missing this eave. So they'll enter this window, come inside and heat this space. As it heats it up, it kind of stays here because of this insulation that we have put in strategic locations. In the summertime, though, it's a little bit different. The sun happens to be higher in the horizon. As it rains down its photons, it's now hitting the eave, which shades part of the house, which blocks direct contact of this rays with this glass, which allows it to stay a little cooler And of course, with the insulation, it keeps the cool in. So again, passive systems that work fairly efficiently based on where you put the house and even some other things as well.